What is the state of security in the FCT? Are there areas that need improvement? With the appointment of a new commissioner of police in the metropolis, what should the residents expect? Well, this will take center stage in our discussion today with the newly appointed FCT Commissioner of Police. Please stick around. Hello and welcome to a special edition of Dateline Abuja. I'm Kumbi Aboluade. Today, we will be focusing on the security infrastructure in the FCT. But before we get into the topic of the day, let's serve you a rundown of major activities that took place in the nation's capital this week. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is alleging that malpractices in Nigeria's correctional system is impacting the fight against insecurity. General Musa stated this during a dinner session organized to address rural inclusion as a tool for economic growth and development in Abuja. He also expressed displeasure over the duplication of database of citizens by security agencies, while stating that the lack of a central database impedes efforts to ensure security in the country.
No nation develops without a good police. No nation. There's no magic. So you must get a good police. Your correctional system must be good. Your legal system must be good. These three aspects work together. So if we want to tackle insecurity, we must look into these aspects. I had situations where we arrest Boko Haram, and how do you get messages across in the prisons? They said, look, you get the prison warden that is there, you share the money. He gives his account number, you send it, and both of you share the money. So there are so many things that we really need to look at so that we can nip these things in the bud.
A coalition of civil society organizations are condemning the recent legal action by some state governments against anti-corruption agencies, including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The group described the action as a threat to the fight against corruption and the autonomy of local governments, which they consider a fundamental pillar of grassroots democracy. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority for the recordation of irrevocable deregistration and export request authorization and registration of aircraft in the country. According to Mr. Keyamo, during the signing ceremony in Abuja, this move will avail the NCAA an advanced database of aircraft in the country, which will further enhance security in the sector.
What we are doing here today is that having settled the judicial remedies completely now by the practice direction, we want to now turn attention to the administrative routes by which aircrafts can be deregistered and exported out of Nigeria.
Ahead of the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, the Inter-Party Advisory Council is asking the Independent National Electoral Commission to draw lessons from the just concluded election in Edo and perfect its logistics and collation processes. The political parties made the call at a meeting with the electoral umpire in Abuja. Meanwhile, INEC has also fixed November 8, 2025 as the date for the governorship election in Anambra State.
As you are aware, the last governorship election in Anambra State was held on the 6th of November 2021. Consequently, the Commission has approved that the 2025 Anambra State governorship election will hold on Saturday, 8th November 2025.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, believes insecurity cannot be resolved if the high rate of out-of-school children is not addressed. Mr. Wike made this statement during a courtesy visit by the management of the Universal Basic Education Commission at his office in Abuja. He charged the commission to do everything in its capacity to ensure that the children roaming the streets are brought into the classrooms.
All of us know what you did, because of the problems of not just get child education, but out of school children. I don't know what you are doing as regards to all our children roaming the streets. it is a function of UNEC. So annoying. I know that you are doing your best, but I do know that it takes two to complement your efforts. I know what is happening to the counterpart funding. So many states do not want to pay the counterpart funding, which is very unfortunate. The insecurity we're talking about today can never be resolved if we don't bring these children back to school.
Thank you for staying tuned. My guest today is the newly appointed Commissioner of Police, and he speaks to us on his intentions for the FCT and gives an insight on how he would ensure the safety of nightlifers in the metropolis. Please stay tuned. Good afternoon, CP Olatunji Disu, the new Commissioner of Police. Welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Yeah, good afternoon. The pleasure is mine to be here.
Let me start by congratulating you on your appointment as the Commissioner of Police for the FCT.
Thank you, sir.
I know it's just less than 2 weeks since you came into office, but with what you've seen on the ground, how would you describe the security infrastructure in the FCT?
First and foremost, I want you to know that this is the federal capital territory, and you should expect the best of everything here at federal capital. I'm not surprised at what I found on the ground, the level of organization of the men and equipment. So far so good. I've been able to move around. And don't forget that I've worked here earlier. I was commander of the intelligence response team, so I know the town. I've been able to move around. I've visited a lot of police stations and other infrastructure belonging to the police. So far so good. I've been able to capture a lot of information that will assist me in bringing up my request. So far so good. I've noticed good things, and I've been able to identify things that need to be improved as
well. When you talk about things that needs to be improved, what are you talking about?
Yes, I'm a new Commissioner of Police. Definitely, I will have a different approach to things. Different from the last person that left. His approaches, we need to change one or two things. I've been able to identify a lot of things that my predecessor did that I have to improve on. He has really done so well. I've identified one or two patrol vehicles that are not in bad shape. We have been able to identify one or two other equipments that we need to be quickly repaired for us to start working immediately.
With what you've seen so far, would you say the efforts from the FCT is enough to curb the menace in the FCT?
Definitely the FCT have done so well for the Nigerian police. I am so happy with what I met on the ground. Although there are little space for improvement, they have done so well. I've moved around, I've seen new patrol vehicles. There are no police without mobility. And recently, we had a security meeting with the Minister of the FCT, and he ordered immediately for procurement of brand new vehicles. Within a week, and I've started hearing that the vehicles are already being assembled to be distributed to security agencies. So far, in charge of tools, mobility especially, we are good to go.
What's your take on nightlife in the FCT? Because there are some residents that like to go out at night. What's your take on that?
That's a very important question. There is no mega city without the nightlife. And then I've worked, like I mentioned earlier, I've worked here previously. I know what it is like. And then the minister mentioned it at our last security meeting that he will want us to ensure that we improve on activities that take place at night. If we can improve, if we can ensure that people are bold to move around at night, there are no crime, we reduce crime to the barest minimum at night, it will boost all activities that have to do with night. A lot of businesses rely on people coming out at night to enjoy themselves for sightseeing as well. So far so good. I've moved around at night. I have men that will go out with me. We will be able to assess nightlife, but Like you mentioned it is very, very important for us to improve activities that take place at night.
Okay, there's one area that some residents don't find interesting. The fact that some men, some personnel of the Nigerian police would harass them and profile them just by the way they look. And it's one area that residents are calling on the Nigerian police to correct. Is that something that you also take upon?
Definitely, I'm going to do that. And in fact, we have started doing it. I've had the first meeting with all officers in the command, especially the divisional police officers, tactical commanders, and the management team. And I've told them what I don't like. The activities of the men at night. Yes, they are well positioned. Yes, they are doing their jobs. But I want us to improve on the interaction with residents as they move around. We have foreign nationals in this state, in this territory as well. The police will give them impression about the country. We are going to improve our interaction with members of the public. We get paid from the taxes we got in from the residents, members of the community, and so we should give it back to them. We are not their masters, we are servants, we are there to serve them. So we should let them know we'll be doing our job, and at the same time, we'll be very, very respectful to them.
Okay, so you're assuring FCT residents now that they're free to go out at night and security will do their job?
Definitely, they are free to go out at night, and they should not forget the maxim of seeing anything suspicious, informing the security agencies for us to respond to it.
Yes, in terms of response now, what are the lines that residents can call within split seconds that they will get response from the Nigerian police?
Even talking about that, an incident happened this morning that made me so happy. There was a kidnap at a particular part of the town, and then a resident who saw it called me up immediately, and then the control room was in front. And within some few minutes, I was so happy when the divisional police officer called me that he saw a suspect had been apprehended and the victim rescued. And they went to kidnap the proprietress of a school, and they laid her back at the back of the vehicle, put their legs on top of her. And then the funny thing is that they came in from the neighboring states to perpetrate this crime. But the essence of it is that a member of the public saw it, quickly called the police, and the police triggered in the necessary emergency actions, which led to the recovery of the rescue of the victim and the arrest of one of the suspects. So the maxim still stays in place. See something, say something immediately. So I assure every member of the public to have the control room number. Keep it. Call it when you have emergency, and the police will surely respond to it.
Do you have the numbers here, which you
I have them.
Can you comment on so that?
One of the numbers is 0803 200 3913. I'll take it one more time. 0803 200 3913. And I'll give you one more number. 0806 158 1938. I'll take it one more time. 0806 158 1938.
So now speaking on bail, right? Is bail free?
Bail is free.
Does it apply to all instances?
Bail is free in all instances. And that is where the cooperation of members of the public come into it. And I'll give you an example. I've done a kind of a mystery shopping around where I've visited a lot of the police stations unknown to the policemen. And then I went in, they didn't know I was the one. And then I saw interaction they were having with members of the public. Before leaving, the ones I needed to correct, I corrected. And the ones I called the DPOs to have further discussion with, I did. There is punishment for you who give bribe, and there is punishment for the person that takes a bribe.
Let's just speak about your intentions for the FCT. Yes, you're new, but you worked here previously. What are your intentions for the FCT in terms of ensuring optimum security?
My intention is to come here and then ensure that I do my job as a police officer to prevent crime from happening, And for the ones I'm not able to prevent it happens, for me to be able to detect it and apprehend those who perpetrate the crime. And if I arrest them, to ensure that I charge them to the appropriate court. And to build on the already achievements done by my predecessors, and to ensure that there's peace in this state and everybody moves around as they're supposed to do.
Okay. Would you also be tackling some loose ends, because you know that you can't say wholly that some men might not be swayed by some parties to maybe carry out some practices and all of that.
Definitely, all police officers are human beings. And just like they said in the Bible, Jesus Christ had 12 disciples and he had one Judas among them. We can count the number of policemen I have working in the federal capital territory. There will be one or two of them that may want to do what they are not supposed to do. Those numbers that give us the hints, and then we come after them. There will be accountability. I've spoken to police officers to be very, very professional. People are becoming more and more enlightened. People will fight for their right, and we encourage them to do so. The Inspector General of Police has shared it to all commissioners of police, and he mentioned it at our last briefing that accountability is key, that he would not want to encourage any form of corruption by members of the Nigerian Police Force, and that there will be repercussion for commissioners of police whose men were found to be involved in this kind of things we are talking about.
We know that there are border communities that make way for some persons that want to carry out ill or some sort of disrupt the security infrastructure of the FCT. What are you going to do to ensure that these ends are tightened?
You see, the Federal Capital Territory is a peculiar state. It's a kind of special state. And the belief of everybody is that this is where the money is. This is where everything is. And then it is bordered by, I think, about 4 other states. And then from experience, we have noticed that a lot of crime, a lot of perpetrators coming from these neighboring states to do their crimes here in the Federal Capital Territory. Because they are residents in other states does not mean we are not going to come after them. We are going to go after them. I visited Nasarawa, I visited Kogi since I came, and I am in constant touch with the commissioners of police of all these neighboring states. And even today, we are still going to have a Zoom meeting between us to discuss and identify an area where we will all contribute men to go and organize the kind of operation. And this will be happening every time that we notice upsurge in crimes. Everywhere there's crime, we go after them.
Okay. Well, you won't wait for when the crime comes. You do it before the crime happens.
Definitely, we have started doing that. This is the Ember month. Everybody knows that when they are moving towards December, there's always increase in crime. We have started tackling it. We have started working on it. We are gathering information. And I want to thank members of the residents of this wonderful state territory for the kind of information that have been coming to me. They have been calling me, how they got my number, state of crisis in such a short time. A lot of information have been coming into us, and a lot of arrests have been made. Just 2 days ago, we got information that some armed robbers that have been on the wanted list of the police were residing in a particular hotel. And then we moved in there. Behold, they were there. All of them have been arrested. So I am thankful to them for giving us this information, and I am Oliver Twist. I'm soliciting for more. I'm begging for them to continue to do that to us. It's in the olden days that we are free to give police information. Let the information come, let it come to me directly, and I give you my word that we work on it.
Do you tell the FCT residents that police is their friend? Because some have a different opinion about it.
Definitely, the police is their friend. We, the members of the public, the residents of this territory, are important stakeholders in the duty of policing. Policing does not start and end with me only. Policing is everybody's duty. Policing is everybody's duty, like I mentioned. We will give them the policing that they will be happy to do. We are going to do policing by consent, because we believe everybody is a wonderful stakeholder. And we are going to be accountable for everything we do. If you have complaints about the activities of police officers, quickly inform us. We will act on it and we will give you feedback about our findings.
The world is going digital now, and every sector is adopting it. What's your take? Will the Nigerian police adopt this to further enhance their operations?
Sincerely, the Nigerian police have adapted the use of technology, and we are going to ensure that we update what we do concerning technology. For example, we have been doing data analysis. What do we do with data analysis? From our data analysis, we are able to create crime mapping. We map out crimes. We know crimes that are prevalent in all areas. In these areas, we have kidnapping. In that area, we have issues of armed robberies. In this area, we have issues of domestic violence. So this we can only get from data analysis and proper use of the crime mapping. From crime mapping, we can identify black spots, working on black spots, ensuring that we remove the activities of hoodlums and making sure we eliminate areas that we call black spots. And that takes us to the uses of further technology like the drone. If you look at the peculiar nature of the Federal Capital Territory, you have a lot of mountains, hills, and everywhere, and the hoodlums are taking advantage of it. So the police are deploying drones. We have some drones that we, in our capacity as I speak with you now, we have drones that can be deployed to assist us in achieving this.
Speaking of database now, I know the Chief of Defense Staff earlier lamented the duplication of database from all security agencies, calling for harmonization of this database. Would you also think in that line?
I agree with you because even in the police, the Inspector General of Police mentioned it just 2 days ago at our briefing that the police cannot do it alone. Every security agency must come in. Let's work together to ensure that they will achieve peace, better security for the nation. So if you have an harmonized way of data, it will ensure that we have better synergy amongst ourselves. We have a data that everybody can trust and then can use to achieve aims of providing security. That is the problem that we have at the now.
Okay, you've worked in the Federal Capital Territory, you've also worked in Rivers State. How would you say the journey has been so far for you?
Within the few days that I worked in the Federal Capital Territory, I found out that policing here and policing in Rivers State are different things. Because the terrains are different, the people are different. And I'm beginning to discover a pattern of crime here in the Federal Capital Territory different from that in the Rivers State. We know when a lot of activities can happen in the Rivers State, we are able to localize it, and then the divisional police officers in those areas know how to tackle it. Whereas here in the Federal Capital Territory, certain days of the week are very, very important. You expect this to happen this day of the week, you expect that to happen that day of the week. So these are different areas, and then definitely we need different approach to policing.
Okay, you say patterns. Is this something that residents should also keep an eye on?
That is what we call in policing intelligence policing. Like I mentioned earlier, every December, everybody expects crime to go up. We notice patterns of crime with data analysis. Some I may not want members of the public to know. It is between us, the security agencies, to know, and for us to up our games during those periods.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
The pleasure is mine.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Don't forget that you have a role to play in ensuring security in the area. If you see something, say something. Also remember, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. And with that, we'll wrap it up on Dateline this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kumbi Aboluade. Bye for now.